So, to get ready to make my actual seating charts, I've taken down the class period, the course number, and the course section. I have this written down somewhere very quickly. I'm also going to be very careful to note if I do have more than one course, if you will, in a class period. An additional course could be an office assistant, TA, peer tutor. If I'm teaching an art class, it could be my second, third, and fourth year students together in a class. Similarly, with a band or other courses like that, I would just keep this in mind. I'm going to now go on over to seating charts. And in an Infinite Campus, you have to create your seating chart from scratch every year. Once you've made one seating chart for your school year, you can now clone this over to everything else that you teach during your day, as well between semester 1 and semester 2. So I'll click on New. As you'll see here, these are all the lists of sections that I have in my gradebook. I see nothing about class periods, so I don't remember which one is which. That's why you may want to write down the class period, the course number, and section. Also, please note that I did have that integrated math and a Q-coded together, but when I look at these classes, it's only one line. I have to go down to the very, very bottom of the list to see things that are grouped together. So if I'm taking attendance in a period X class and it has a TA, I have to go down to the very bottom and find that period X class as well as that TA section together, select it to then make my seating chart. Please also know that if you take on a TA during week 3 of the year, you'll have to completely scrap and rebuild from scratch that seating chart to take attendance off of it. I'm personally using the E0325 or 25.7 course. So I'm just going to call it period 1 rows. My hypothetical class, it's 5 columns wide and 7 seats deep. I am going to have, let's see here, I'm going to have a horizontal space of 1 desk and a vertical space of none. I think that'll lay things out nice. And personally, I'm not going to place any students. I just want to look at desks. I'll create my chart. Okay, what I see now is my 5 wide and 7 deep, and I have a row in between each one. To help with printing, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on Contract Workspace, and you'll notice this little wall will get closer and closer to my desks. So I like that. That's good. And what I can do then is if I want to, I can manually place students, or I could also place them alphabetically. I can place them randomly, whatever I want. I would go ahead and probably just place them randomly, and then if I need to, drag and drop people around as appropriate. I also do notice here with these students, I can see little codes for Group A, Group B, Group C, and D. So maybe what I want to do is stagger out by group the appropriate safe spacing, so that way everyone has a dedicated seat during the week, and I know where it's at. And what would be nice about attendance then is on whatever day that I would have students, I'd be able to see where my A and C or my B and D students would be sitting and take attendance with that. And then for the other students who aren't attending, it'll just be an empty space. In that vein, if I'm looking at things in terms of distance and hybrid learning, I would probably also make sure that I've grouped out my virtual learners, in this case, the distance learning option, to maybe a certain portion of the room. So that way, they're not on the formal seating chart, but I can take attendance or roll, whether I'm using Zoom or something like that in class. If I'm happy with it, I would hit save. And then what's really nice then is if I'm happy with period 1, I can copy that layout to another class. Maybe I want to go to my period 7. And I can call that period 7 rows. And I can go ahead and choose how to place it, create the chart, and everything will be laid out just the same. The walls will be just the same. Everything will be great, and I'll be happy with it, which is what I want to have. When it comes time to actually taking attendance, what I'm going to do then is show you what that would look like. Say I'm in my E0257, and maybe it's the day I take attendance for that class, or period 1 rather. I always go to attendance, I select period 1, and I'll see my seating chart. And I can just mark present, absent, or tardy. I could also put in some sort of comment if I need to. In this case, since we are living with the virtual and the hybrid learning, I do see these labels on here, so maybe that would direct the way that I do my seating charts. And that is how you would set it up. If you would like to go back to your seating charts and you would like to go back to that course and open it, you could go to the options, and maybe now what you want to do is you want to put in a picture of the students and then generate the report. What you'll be able to see now would be the kids, if you had pictures, where they're at, and that could also help you with taking attendance too.